All right, part 3, long-term recovery strategies. Still haven't told you to sleep more. Maybe we'll do that in a future episode. Shared a couple ideas last time. We're going to focus on tools for clearing the mind and for increasing stability in our overall life. So last time talked about The Artist's Way, talked about Brad's book, perspective. It is a privilege to exercise. It is a privilege to be an elite. Sometimes I think the type of personality that is attracted to high performance sport can elevate the nature of sport greater than it is in our society. And I know it might seem very important to you, but in terms of humanity and what's going on in our communities and what's going on in the world, whatever workout we have today is very low in terms of, make or break. And lowering the stakes can free the mind, and it can also improve performance, because ultimately consistency is the protocol, and we do not need to be knocking it out of the park day after day. So how might we improve our perspective? Well, spending time with a disadvantage is a good way. I've volunteered at hospice before. That's a good reality check. If you like books, Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl, Holocaust literature, very good for gaining perspective, a wider perspective on what matters. Last lecture, there's a great video if you're into that on YouTube, but there's also a really fun book about that. Poetry, The Gift by Hafiz in my library. If I'm in a good place mentally, I can laugh with these poems and I can laugh with Hafiz, the great Sufi master. Eckhart Tolle, some people like his stuff. I got A New Earth here. He's got a couple different ones. Interesting perspectives. Doesn't really matter where insight comes from, as long as I've exposed myself to a wide range of things. What I try and do is pick one thing and incorporate it into my routine, into my life. So it's just one thing at a time and kind of build on that. And one of my absolute favorites, The Little Prince. Seems like a simple story, but there is a lot in there, and I like reading that one again from time to time. So that's some resources for you. I'm kind of a read-write guy, but there's a lot of stuff out there. The other thing, take an inventory. Peer group inventory, client inventory. You have a lot of choice, much more than you might realize, especially over a multi-year time horizon, with who you decide to hang out with. And when I was working in consulting, I would have my own list of all my relationships and clients, and it would be ranked green, yellow, and red. And I was aware of who was in that red category. And when I had an opportunity to exit that relationship or exit that client, I would take that. And I would leave on very good terms, but I would leave. And sometimes it would take me up to a year to get out of that situation, but I was constantly weeding the people I was working with. Likewise, I've had people that I wanted to grow closer to, the green list, and I would make an effort to travel to them, to do fun things with them, to share experiences with them. Same deal with training partners. Who's in my swim lane, who I'm riding a bike with, who I decide to run with. It's a choice. Every time you turn up in a group situation, it's a compromise. All group training is a compromise. So you need to know the benefits of being in the group to you, and you need to know if there's any difficulties with being in the group. And if an individual in that group is creating noise in your head, the easiest thing to do is maybe avoid that individual. And, I will change lanes in swimming. I will use flotation to allow myself to swim in different lanes, or I will just start training on my own, because I know that all I need to do is train. Consistency as protocol. And I will use the group to meet my goals. I don't have to be there, particularly if it's generating noise and impairing my recovery. So it's really important for you to remember media choices. We talked about social media. We talked about the books we read, the people we hang out with, the sponsors we associate, our peer group, all of these things. It's a choice. And over multiple years, you can tailor those people and those experiences, and you can reduce the noise, and you can create a life that is supporting the direction you want to go. So that's part 3. Thanks for listening. Be back with some more ideas next time.